Hey everybody, welcome to 2ZQ Hot Takes, where we discuss issues both big and small. I am your host, the very handsome Tim Kirk, and today I'll be talking about bullying and gay bashing. The entry for bully on Google states, bully, verb, gerund or present participle, bullying. Seek to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable. In quotations, her 11-year-old son has been constantly bullied at school. Similar, persecute, oppress, tyrannize, torment, browbeat, intimidate. From stopbullying.gov, what is bullying? Bullying is unwanted, aggressive behavior among school-age children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. Both kids who are bullied and who bully others may have serious, lasting problems. In order to be considered bullying, the behavior must be aggressive and include an imbalance of power. Kids who bully use their power, such as physical strength, access to embarrassing information, or popularity, to control or harm others. Power imbalances can change over time and in different situations, even if they involve the same people. Repetition. Bullying behaviors happen more than once or have the potential to happen more than once. Bullying includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and excluding someone from a group on purpose. There are 3 types of bullying. Verbal bullying is saying or writing mean things. Verbal bullying includes teasing, name-calling, inappropriate sexual comments, taunting, threatening to cause harm. Social bullying, sometimes referred to as relational bullying, involves hurting someone's reputation or relationships. Social bullying includes leaving someone out on purpose, telling other children not to be friends with someone, spreading rumors about someone, embarrassing someone in public. Physical bullying involves hurting a person's body or possessions. Physical bullying includes hitting, kicking, pinching, spitting, tripping, pushing, taking or breaking someone's things, making mean or rude hand gestures. Where and when bullying happens? Bullying can occur during or after school hours. While most reported bullying happens in the school building, a significant percentage also happens in places like on the playground or the bus. It can also happen traveling to or from school, in the youth's neighborhood, or on the internet. I've been bullied and I've been gay bashed. Before I came to and realized what had happened to me, I'm sure I inflicted an amount of suffering on those who were also vulnerable and unprepared, defenseless as it were, as I was. And if I ever did anything to anyone who was harmed by any of my unconscious and unconscionable actions, I am truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. These are regrets I hold in my mind and my heart all day, every day, and I am unable to even recount what I may have done in passing as an act of self-defense or a fear defense mechanism or whatever it was or they were, but I hold myself responsible and know that I will live with it each second of every day for the rest of my life. I was bullied. I was a small kid. I was not tough. I had a big mouth. I thought I was precocious. I was naive. I was everything a kid would be. I had no idea I was gay. I knew that. I thought I could hide it. Whatever was obvious about me that I could not hide was picked up on by cruel, hard-hearted, mean-spirited boys, and they seemed to relish acting on it. Almost as bad as the bullying was the complete rejection from other boys, while I only thought I was trying to be friends or at least friendly with them. My mistake. I was in Cub Scouts and Webelos in a Catholic school troop, although I went to public elementary and middle school. I was, let's say, picked on by the highly aggressive Catholic boys. I have very many beliefs and theories as to why they were so cruel and hostile, from them being victims and passing it on to something about what they had learned subconsciously and the subtext of their entire education. The public school kids were, for the most part, fine. I was popular and had a lot of friends. I was involved in activities. We did have our bullies, but they were also at times quite gregarious. That was also at times a bit confusing. Many of them turned out to be trouble due to domestic abuse. The Catholic school bullies were a lot less culturally receptive to other non-Catholic types, and I think a lot of that had been formed from the biases they were subjected to at their school and the repressive atmosphere found in many of the Catholic households I have ever visited. This, again, was called in those days being picked on. I was told that it was just the pecking order, and I had to get used to it. By comparison, I never really felt all that much bullying at public school and believed I was relatively confident in myself until I went to high school, which was a Catholic all-boys high school. It turned out to be, let's say, stressful. I loathed it. I almost never felt comfortable. I was also a band geek. I had to wear a jacket and tie or a school sweater and necktie. I had a lot of books. Carrying a French horn, books, and dressed like a junior accountant was not a winning combination for someone who had public school friends. I cried at the idea that I was wearing this prison uniform while my friends were wearing T-shirts and jeans. I remember going to summer school 2 years in a row and had the very best time, even though it was summer school. The kids were cool and friendly. I was friends with a bunch of girls, of course. Even the nerds were okay. I enjoyed the teachers. It was so much nicer than my high school experience. High school was hell. I was bullied, physically bullied, routinely. One prime example. I had my nose broken, and a day or so after the break, one of the boys on the football team grabbed me from behind and somehow locked my arms behind my back with one arm, and then smashed and smushed the open palm of his hand into my broken nose, laughing the entire time. He was usually one of the first guys to receive communion at the masses we were required to attend. He was abetted by another creepy kid who had an animus towards me, and I will never know what the reason was for that because I never had anything to do with him. He was a hostile little jerk, sort of like the football guy's own personal Renfield or Igor. This continued throughout my high school experience. It was, unfortunately, not limited to these two individuals. My own burgeoning sexuality made it even more difficult for me way back in those days. On a good day, I was thrown into lockers, had my books knocked out of my hands, all that stupid nonsense. I really disliked high school. It was quite stressful, to say the least, and I won't go into further detail. Anyway, out of curiosity, I looked both of these obnoxious individuals up not that long ago. Not hard to do, just Google them both. One is a CPA in Florida, and the other is an attorney in New York City. So far, I have had the good fortune to never have had anything resembling any contact with either of them since those horrible days. So, whenever I see stories about victims of bullying in schools, my stomach tightens. I feel for these kids. I know they don't deserve to be bullied. I also feel that the parents of the kids who do the bullying are a combination of quite responsible, they're out of touch, they encourage, they abuse their kids and it is passed on to others, or they just don't care. I'm sure there are other factors that come into play, but I'm really not interested in understanding their issues as much as I am interested in how the victims can get relief and the tools they need to stop this vile behavior which is directed toward them so they can proceed with a much happier life. Now to the subject of gay bashing. From Wikipedia. Gay bashing and gay bullying is an attack, abuse, or assault committed against a person who is perceived by the aggressor to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. The attack may be physical or verbal. This can also include abuse, bullying, or assaults perpetrated against a heterosexual person who the attacker perceives to be LGBT. A bashing may be a specific violent incident with the verb form being used to bash, e.g., I was gay bashed. Physical gay bashings have involved extreme violence and murder, such as the fatal gay bashing of Matthew Shepard. A verbal gay bashing might include sexual slurs, expletives, intimidation, and threatened violence. It might also take place in a political forum and include one or more common anti-gay slogans. Bullying of gay LGBT people involves intentional actions towards the victim, repeated negative actions by one or more people against another person, and an imbalance of physical or psychological power. Similar terms such as gay bullying, lesbian bullying, queer bullying, and queer bashing may also be formed. Homophobia and gay bashing are long-standing and current issues and have been officially documented worldwide for as long as gay people have been documented. Homophobia in the United States was widely documented in the press in the 1940s and early 1950s when many gay people were forced out of government by boards set up by Presidents Harry S. Truman and Dwight D. Eisenhower. As historian David K. Johnson explains, the Lavender Scare helped fan the flames of the Red Scare. In popular discourse, communists and homosexuals were often conflated. Both groups were perceived as hidden subcultures with their own meeting places, literature, cultural codes, and bonds of loyalty. Well, both groups were thought to recruit to their ranks the psychologically weak or disturbed, and both groups were considered immoral and godless. Many people believe that the two groups are working together to undermine the government. I have been gay bashed twice, as an adult, in my 30s, in New York City, in Manhattan. Once in June 1993, right outside of a gay bar, and the other in April of 1996 at a very well-known trade school. They were unbelievably humiliating and extremely painful experiences. I live with constant pain from the first bashing to this day, including tremendous difficulty sleeping due to the discomfort caused by these lasting injuries. I tend to think I also suffer from some sort of ongoing PTSD as a result of these attacks. I say this now, and I mean it with every fiber of my existence. Live and let live. What's the matter with these people who don't want others to pursue their own happiness, especially if it doesn't impact their lives or cause them any harm? Live your own damn life and leave people alone. As I have heard before, and I truly believe, finish ruining your own life before you ruin anyone else's. We've had more than enough of this. Thanks for listening. See you next time. And as the kiddies say, peace out.